From Dogecoin and cryptos recovering after the recent crash to some latest updates about the global geopolitical scenarios, there is a lot happening for cryptos right now. So let's talk about everything you need to know. So after the recent sell-off, we saw that cryptos started a recovery rally where they shed off their recent losses, and we are now seeing that they are still managing to stay in the green while the global political environment is still full of uncertainty. The most impressive thing to note here is that no one was expecting the crypto market to recover so soon, and there were talks that this is the end of cryptos. However, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and others defied all odds, and I'm very happy to see this positive movement from them. And while the overall crypto market has remained in the green during the last 24 hours, there is still some uncertainty and fear among investors and crypto traders. We can see here that the crypto fear and greed index is sitting around the 26 level, which clearly means that some investors are still worried. However, the good thing is that this fear and uncertainty is expected to fade away in the coming days since some pretty amazing things are happening right now, and I'm going to talk about a lot of things in this video, so stay with me till the end. And now, let's talk about the current situation of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict since we are now seeing some important updates about it related to cryptos. So this whole situation is getting more and more intense, and we are now seeing that fighting has reached the streets of Ukraine's capital as Russia presses ahead with its invasion. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian president has claimed that Ukraine has derailed the advance of Moscow's troops and pledges he will not surrender. So things are not looking too good right now, and we have to keep an eye on it since this situation can affect cryptos and traditional markets in the coming days. But the good thing is that despite this situation is still intensifying, the US stock markets have surged during the last 48 hours. We can see here that the S&P 500 is up, Dow Jones is up, and Nasdaq is also back in the green after they crashed on the day when Russia started an onslaught on Ukraine. And as we know that Bitcoin and others are now closely correlated with equities, this is one of the reasons why the crypto market is also trading in the green during the last 48 hours. Now the most important thing is that it appears that Russia may back out from invading Ukraine since there is a lot of pressure mounting on it. In fact, we are now seeing that even Russian lawmakers are now supporting peace and not war, and we can see here that a member of the Russian parliament is now calling for an end to the war. So this is really good news for everyone. Moreover, world leaders are also putting sanctions on Russia in order to let the country know to avoid war and deal with the issue in a peaceful way. And just recently, the United Kingdom Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has said that they are now working with allies to exclude Russia from the SWIFT financial system. So in the scenario that Russia is unplugged from SWIFT, its economy will shrink by 5%, and this clearly means that Russia is not going to let it happen, and I think that from saving itself from getting banned, Russia may back out of this war. Similarly, we are now seeing that payment services Apple Pay and Google Pay have also announced that they are going to halt support for Russian banks. So this is going to create more and more pressure on Russia because such sanctions are going to shrink the Russian economy massively, and this is why I think these sanctions are going to put an end to this war and peace will prevail again. Now another important thing for cryptos is that Kuna, a crypto exchange in Ukraine, has seen its trading volume explode after the Russian invasion of the country. Data from CryptoCompare shows that on average, the exchange's trading volume was hovering around 45 million UAH per day, and shows that on the day Russia's invasion started, its trading volume exploded to 150 million UAH, equivalent to around $5 million. So this is a positive thing for cryptos since it is apparent that people are not trusting the banking system and a local currency, and they are preferring cryptos amid this war. And as more proof of this, we are now seeing that during this crisis situation, ATM machines in Ukraine have run out of cash and people are now using cryptos to transact their funds. Moreover, millions in crypto have been donated to help those in need. So this means that cryptos are helping people amid this crisis situation, and this is not only good for humanity, we are also seeing an important use case of cryptos. Similarly, we are now seeing that the people of Ukraine have been getting donations in cryptos from throughout the world. And just recently, a Ukrainian NGO received about $3 million worth of hash Bitcoin from a single donor. Moreover, publicly available data shows that 109 Bitcoin worth more than $4.3 million have been donated to a wallet operated by Come Back Alive, a Ukrainian NGO that is providing assistance to the country's military during their time of war with Russia. All in all, we are now seeing that Bitcoin and crypto donations to Ukrainian efforts have exponentially increased since the Russian invasion. And the most important thing to note here is that nobody is donating gold to Ukraine amid this crisis situation, but people are donating in Bitcoin and cryptos. So as I said before, cryptos are showing us their new use case, which is to help humanity in the crisis situation. And this means that cryptos are going to come out as winners after this war ends. And this is why I think cryptos are here to stay, and as far as their prices are concerned, they are to grow over the years. Now, another very important thing to note here is that we know that when the Russian invasion of Ukraine started, Bitcoin crashed. At the same time, gold rose in value, and it simply outperformed Bitcoin. This led to everyone believing that gold is the safe haven and Bitcoin is too volatile to be taken as a safe haven. However, we are now seeing that Bitcoin has defied all the odds, and it has been trading on the upside during the last 24 hours. The key thing to note here is that as Bitcoin is now trading on the upside, gold is down and it has lost its value during the last 24 hours. So this clearly means that Bitcoin has outperformed gold, and as I said before, people are also donating Bitcoin to Ukraine instead of gold. So it is just more and more confirmation that Bitcoin not only has more utility compared to gold, it is also going to outperform gold in the long term, and it will also help other cryptos like Doge to make some moves to the upside. And with that being said, let's come to Dogecoin's current price movements. So after rallying up by almost 15% the other day, Doge is currently holding its support level around this region, and it has managed to avoid another sell-off. Still, I think that we should anticipate some volatility in the coming days as the Russian-Ukrainian conflict may escalate. However, I am not bearish on Doge because I feel that the long-term outlook is still optimistic, and I expect that it will trade higher in the second quarter of this year. In any case, I'd like to remind you that this isn't financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. So I'd suggest that you do proper research before investing anything into crypto. And now, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute. So Bitcoin is now hovering around the 39K range after rallying up the other day, and it is now looking to break through the resistance level around 40K. While the technical indicators of Bitcoin are suggesting that it may not clear this resistance level in the coming days, there are some bullish updates and data that are indicating that Bitcoin can move to the upside from here. For example, we are now seeing that Bitcoin's purple whales are now leading the charge, and they are now fueling the price to the upside. And data from material indicators is now showing us that historically, this class has had the most direct correlation to Bitcoin's price, and if Bitcoin bulls can push past 41.5K, then the 45K level should come into focus rather quickly. Meanwhile, the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, has pointed out that wars create inflation and cripple commerce. And according to Saylor, this in turn makes Bitcoin compelling as it serves as an alternative to hedge against the rising inflation. So this means that the current situation is actually bullish for Bitcoin. Similarly, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz is also looking pretty bullish on Bitcoin, and he is saying that is so bullish on Bitcoin because it is decentralized and not controllable. So this is pretty positive for Bitcoin. And another bullish thing for Bitcoin and other cryptos is that BNY Mellon, a major U.S. global bank, has announced plans to launch a crypto custody platform to enable institutional clients to get exposure to cryptos. So this is positive news since this development is going to increase institutional investment in cryptos. And as per another update, Japan's biggest bank, Mitsubishi UFJ, has announced that it is going to launch its own crypto and NFT wallet. So this means that crypto adoption is going to rise in Japan, and this is going to give a massive boost to the global crypto market. And now coming back to Dogecoin, it is currently looking good amid these ongoing political tensions, and I think that Doge is going to avoid another sell-off since this Russian-Ukrainian issue is going to be resolved pretty soon. So things will get back to normal, and we will see Doge and other cryptos showing more positivity. In any case, what are your thoughts on this? When do you think Dogecoin is going to move up from here? Let me know in the comments section below.